There isn't a city in America that has been spared when it comes to crime. Some blame it on the moral decay of modern day, while others blame it on the economic strife with a widening gap between the haves and the have-nots. And still others blame it on the welfare state creating a lazy attitude. Whatever the cause, the crime rate has been rising with the odds that all of us at one point in our lives will be hit by it. The question we must face is, how do we as a nation deal with crime? Are we too easy on criminals?
Is accused of pouring scalding hot water onto a 3-year-old boy, the son of his girlfriend.
A local woman is recovering this afternoon after she was attacked by a stranger. The 22-year-old thought she was getting a ride. Instead, she was raped and cut several times.
So Salem mother is convicted for failing to do enough to prevent the abuse that led to her 2-year-old daughter's murder.
After a rape inside a university dorm room. A 20-year-old woman told police the attack happened Tuesday around 4 a.m. The victim believes her door was locked, yet someone managed to get inside.
Police say Rodney Hauser murdered 49-year-old Deborah Hauser in November.
For evidence, I'm told 6 people have been arrested and charged with intent to possess and deliver cocaine. I'm told as much as 44 pounds of cocaine.
19-year-old Mohammed Guerrer faces first-degree rape charges now.
There also is mental illness. Why else would someone abuse an innocent child? No one in their right mind would do these things. That doesn't excuse these criminals. They have to be punished. Some people are asking what should be done to them. I say that we have been too lax on punishment. There has to be punishment. They cannot be allowed to go scot-free after assaulting society. They have to be made to pay. Some are asking how? I'm asking, what are we going to do to prevent these crimes in the future? Maybe, with our new health care, we could be screening people before they hurt others. Maybe, they just could be given some medicine and watched. Maybe you have heard a myth that poor people and minorities are committing the most crime. The fact is that the rich commit far more crime than the poor. The upper class commits far more crime than the lower class. Street criminals stole $15.3 billion in 1993, but white-collar criminals embezzled $200 billion. Street criminals murdered 23,271 people that year, but the decisions of profit-driven corporations murdered at least 318,368 through pollution, consumer, and worker safety violations, etc. Corporations deserve blame for these deaths because they lobby for and enact policies which drive up these death rates. Virtually all other rich countries have higher safeguards and lower death rates.
Say the word criminal, and the image that comes to the mind of most people is a street criminal, usually poor, usually black, usually armed with a gun. The crimes of the poor do not even begin to compare with the rich. In 1993, the property loss to theft and robbery amounted to $15.3 billion. But white-collar embezzlement costs about $200 billion a year. So conditioned are we to ignore the crimes of the middle and upper classes that the FBI does not even list this statistic in its authoritative annual report, Crime in the United States. The very way we think of crime is racist and classist to its core. The same is true of murder. Officially, the FBI counted 23,271 murders in 1993. But a truer figure would run at least 318,368, even by the incomplete and conservative count. Society has simply conditioned us not to think of the deaths caused by corporations as murder. For example, when a criminal breaks into someone's home and shoots a family of 6, we have no trouble identifying that as mass murder. But what about the mine disaster that kills 26 miners? After the owners had committed 1,250 safety violations in the last 13 years. If the mine owner callously and knowingly risks human lives in this pursuit of profits, shouldn't he then be guilty of murder?
Murder is defined as unlawful killing with malice aforethought. Clearly, a mine owner who has been lawfully warned that his mines are unsafe has a requisite foreknowledge of likely death. And the mine owner who would then choose to ignore those warnings in his quest for profit clearly displays the requisite malice towards his fellow human beings. An analogy best describes this similarity. Suppose someone puts out a $100,000 contract on your life, causing a gangster to show up at your door one day and kill you. He may not have known you or held a personal grudge against you. He did it for the money, that is, with cold-blooded malice aforethought. The same is true of a businessman who desires to earn an extra $100,000 in profits when scientists have already warned him that this action will drive up the percentage of worker or consumer deaths. Yes, crime affects us all and the government is doing a very poor job of protecting us. Why do the police have to wait 24 hours when someone is missing? When they could die in 10 hours, that waiting could be the difference between life and death. Why is it okay for a rich man to kill millions while people scream for the chair for any poor guy who kills one person? Murder is murder, so why are we being put in danger? I do not want a police state, but I do want to be safe. I want to be able to walk my dog without being afraid of being raped. I want to go to the ATM machine without being afraid that either my wallet or identity will be robbed. There needs to be an answer and we the American people are not getting it.
We have only scratched the surface when it comes to the subject of crime in America. We would like to know your thoughts. What do you think should be done to make America a safer place? Are the courts being too easy on criminals? How do you handle the fear that comes from living in an unsafe environment? Please post your thoughts here on YouTube or on our message board. Thank you very much.